boundaries between work and higher purpose are merging into one, where doing good really is good for business. In this book, I'll share some great stories about people who are already leading the way. We've learned from some of these pioneers as the Virgin Group continues on its journey to transform itself into a force for good for people and for the planet. The book reflects a very marked sea change from the way business always used to be done, when financial profit was the only driving force. Today, people aren't afraid to say, "Screw business as usual," and show they mean it. People often associate me with trying to break records, and occasionally my neck, by sailing the Atlantic or flying a balloon in a jet stream, or going to space with Virgin Galactic. But this book isn't just about fun and adventure and exceeding one's wildest dreams, although of course there will be some of that. It's about revolution. And my message is a simple one. Business as usual isn't working. In fact, it's business as usual that's wrecking our planet. Things have to change. In this book, I will discuss why things have to change, what they must change from, and what they must change to. I'm not talking about armed conflict in a Marxist sense. I'm talking about the power of the ordinary, everyday person to become entrepreneurs and be in control of their own lives, to say, "Screw business as usual, we can do it." The power of communication tools, from mobile phones to the internet, shows how ordinary people can speak out now, where before they didn't have the means. As they did in the Arab Spring revolutions of 2011, they'll join protests, they'll blog and tweet. No governments or business will be able to hide behind secrecy any longer. Ordinary people control their brands and their destinies. When things don't work, they have to be fixed. If business helped to break it, then business must play a role in fixing it. But I believe that business can be a force for good. By that I mean doing good is good for business. It's the core message of this book. I often say, have fun and the money will come. I still believe that, but now I'm saying, do good, have fun, and the money will come. Even as a child, I had a strong sense of social responsibility, and this has grown over the years. Virgin has a foundation, Virgin Unite, and we do a huge amount of work looking at new entrepreneurial approaches to issues. Describing my philanthropic methods, somebody recently said, "Oh, Richard, well, yes, he does do things differently." I'd like to think that they meant that I don't donate cash willy-nilly without questioning who is getting their hands in it and what they're using it for. I run Virgin Unite just as I would any other business, making sure that our investments have the best possible social and environmental return. I hope you will be as inspired as I've been while gathering the stories for this book. One word of warning, however, until you've listened to it and can explain its subject matter, you might want to think twice about leaving something entitled "Screw Business as Usual" lying around on your desk. Happy listening. Capitalism 24902. I've always loved the question, how old would you be if you didn't know how old you are? My answer to that would be, in my 20s, although with her Glaswegian honesty, my lovely wife Joan would always add, "No, Richard, you just act like you're in your 20s, which is not the same thing." Well, believe it or not, I am in my 20s. It's just a question of the multiple that must be applied. Contrary to many people of my age, however, I make a point of enjoying my birthdays and always attempt to do something to make them memorable. So there I was one blustery day in August 2010, hoping nobody would notice that I was hobbling as I advanced with bare feet, clutching my surfboard across a sharp shingle beach on the south coast of England. With my daughter Holly, my son Sam, and other friends and family members, we were ready to kitesurf across the English Channel. The plan was to get a world record. The weather was windy, but the sun was shining when we waded into the choppy grey sea. I was looking forward to the challenge. Kitesurfing is now my favourite sport. Nothing beats that glorious sense of freedom and the adrenaline rush you get as you skim across waves, powered by a beautiful kite soaring overhead. There was a force 6 gale blowing, which was strong enough to give us a chance of getting the record. But 10 miles into our journey, that had turned into a force 7 or 8, and the small chase boats had to turn back. Although I believed the kiters could have made it without the chase boats, I felt it unwise to take nephews and nieces across the busiest shipping lane in the world, and we returned to land. The next day the weather was worse.